everyone, my name is Carson Ruby. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, thank you for checking me out. If you are a returning person to my channel, thank you for coming back. I know it's been a hot minute. Yeah, so if you didn't see my previous video, please go check that out. It's going to be talking about what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be talking about books that I currently have in my possession that I'm going to read, and the books that we're going to be talking about in this video. A lot of them are on the ground right now. If you're curious of, are we just talking about these books? No, we're talking about these books and then some. So, I have a lot of books. I did not count them yet. We have a bunch. I had to take them down because my other little thing, my little child, she decided, you know what, I want to try to scale them like King Kong, and they were already wobbling. So, yeah, for safety concerns, we decided, you know what, we're gonna put them on the ground. That's way better safety-wise, especially for her little crazy ass. Anyways, so this video, we're going to be talking about all the different books I have, every single one of them, which the reason why I bought them, or the reason why I got them in general. And this is going to be a long one, probably, a little bit, because I have a lot of books. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get started talking about the books. We're going to at least talk about the ones that are in front of me right now. I do have a couple that I've already read, and I talked about this in the other one. I read Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I read Home is Where the Bodies Are. I just finished Home is Where the Bodies Are. I did Middle of the Night last year, and I've wanted to make a video since then. I just haven't got to do it yet. And that's kind of the whole reason why I wanted to get more into like booktube, because of it. Yeah, so I have these. These are going to be their own little videos talking about it. And then I have Grady Hendrix, How to Sell a Haunted House. I have that as well. I got that for Christmas one year, because that and a couple other ones that I was really interested in reading, those are also included in this. I don't know where they're at. I think they're these ones, if I'm not mistaken. I can't tell from the single, but we'll talk about that when we get there. I like Grady Hendrix's books. I have, which, if you're wondering, this is also my book journal that I've been collecting after the fact I've started reading more. I have read of his Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I read that. Really enjoyed that. That was a 5-star book for me, at least audiobook wise. I read The Final Girl Support Group. That one was alright. It wasn't the best, at least in my opinion, of his so far. I haven't read any more, and so How to Sell a Haunted House was going to be the next one, and then Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I want to read that as well. So we are going to get into reading more of his books as well, and one of those is How to Sell a Haunted House, because I heard it was really good. Especially if I enjoy his writing style, I think I would enjoy it more likely. Okay, so that's why I wanted to read How to Sell a Haunted House. And also, I'm not going to go into the synopsises of the book. I'll probably go more in depth when I get around to actually reading the book. I'll probably tell y'all the synopsis of the book then, because if I do it in this video, it is going to take forever. This videos are going to be really long regardless, just talking about the books in general that I have. But yeah, so if you're interested in that, or you like the title of it, go check it out for yourself. If not, just wait till I get around to it, and I will definitely let you guys know. So the next one is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. It is Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, and I have had this book since basically I graduated high school, because I like astrophysics. I think that's a niche thing for me that I enjoy, learning about stuff like that and learning about science. And I feel like this video is definitely going to show you the kind of things I like, and like the books I'm interested in. and the fact that, like, going from How I Saw a Haunted House and then going to astrophysics, like, I mean, I don't know what kind of spectrum I'm on. I'm on a spectrum, but I don't know what kind of one I'm on. Anyways, so I have astrophysics for people in a hurry. I've had this since I graduated high school, like I said. I just never got to get to fucking reading it, honestly. And I've been wanting to read it since then. I just haven't got to. Haven't got around to it. Work, life, many other things have just postponed this. But because of the fact that I am doing this challenge for myself, I am finally going to read this damn book. And it is going to be a part of the collection of books that I want to get done and read in the near future, hopefully. But anyways, that's the other one. I got Butter from Asaka Yuzuki. I was reading the synopsis of this, and I think I know which serial killer she's talking about in this book, and like the other story behind this. I thought the cover was really interesting, so I was like, ooh, what is that? Why is it called Butter? And then I read the synopsis and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. So I think I do know about the case itself, because it says it's inspired by a true story, which that's why I was like, ooh, wait, because that sounds familiar from a true crime case that I have listened to on my own. So that's why I was like, ooh, let me get this and see about it, because if it is what I think it is, I know pretty much majority of the book. So I got that at Barnes & Noble. I have this book about how to read literature like a professor. I've had this book ever since high school. I've never got around to reading it finally. And I feel like might as well, since I'm reading a lot of books, might as well get involved in this book. And maybe it will help me, progress better in reading and help me be able to be a better reader in general. I think this is kind of more self-help in a way, for my way of reading it. But, yeah, so this is also one that I've had for a long, long time, and I think this is a great addition to it. The fact that I feel like it probably will help me in my journey. So I wanted to include that because of the fact that I haven't read it yet. It might as well. So then the next one I have is The Blood Countess, Murder, Betrayal, and the Making of a Monster. Which, if you know anything of who the Blood Countess is, it is Elizabeth Bathory. And I have watched a handful of videos about Elizabeth and just the crazy shit she did in her life. And so when the second I seen that there was a book on it, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna definitely pick that up and actually see if all the videos that I've watched, if there was information that might have been left out in the video, or anything that maybe I haven't heard that she did in her life, and maybe it's in the book. So that's why I ended up grabbing that. It was at, I think it was at BAM, Books A Million. If I'm not mistaken, that's where I grabbed that. Yes, it is. Now that I remember it. It is where I grabbed that. My next book is The Perfect Marriage. And it has the sprayed edges. I got it from Target. This is one I grabbed from Target because of the fact it's a collector's edition. It is from Ya Girl, Geneva Rose, that I had just recently read. The Home is Where the Bodies Are. So yeah, the second I seen this edition, I've said snatch. Even though I hadn't finished reading Home is Where the Bodies Are when I grabbed this, because this is when it first came out. But we ball. Fuck it, we ball. So if you have not read this, or you have, let me know. I know that there is The Perfect Marriage and The Perfect Divorce. So I know the fact that once I get done with this, I will be reading probably The Perfect Divorce as well. So at least I'm aware of that now. That the fact that when I bought this is when it first came out. But if not, I hope I get to read the other one. And hopefully I like this. I don't know. You never know. But yeah, so That's my other one. Then I have Five Total Strangers. I have listened to Stephanie Sue's coverage of this book. But I said, you know what? I actually want to read the book to see if I actually like it. I liked her coverage of the book on her video, but you never know. Sometimes it could be different, and I might enjoy the book better, or I might not enjoy the book as much as I enjoyed her coverage of it. I don't know, but I at least wanted to grab it for myself and actually read it. Because any of the BAMs that she has done, I have tried to grab all the books of so I can actually read them myself. And so, like, the next one is the Butterfly Garden. I know that there are a couple other ones from the universe of the Butterfly Garden. I'm not completely sure if I'm going to like it because of the fact that I'm iffy about even the video. It's alright. But I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. I'll read it and see what it's about. Because it's an interesting concept. But at least that's why I ended up getting this. Because I was like, you know what? Why not? Also, Five Total Strangers, Butterfly Garden, and the next one that we will be talking about in just a second is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. These 3 books I got for Christmas one year. Because I asked for them because specifically so I can finally get to read them myself, even though I watched Stephanie talk about them. But yeah, so that's the next one. Lock Every Door. That is the other one that I'm really excited to read. I think I will like it because I did like her video talking about it. And I do like Riley Sager books, obviously. Middle of the Night. And I'm not sure if I read any other Riley Sager books just yet. I do have a lot of the other ones. They're in the pile down below, I think. So I just realized another one that I read from Grady Hendrix was My Best Friend's Exorcism. I freaking love that. I hated the movie because the movie didn't do it justice. The book was better. I listened to the Audible of the book. It was so freaking good. But that was another Grady Hendrix one, besides the Southern Book Club's Guide to Killing Vampires. That was another one. Riley Sager, I have not read any other ones besides Middle of the Night, and then listening to Lock Every Door. But I do enjoy his writing style, especially in Middle of the Night so far. So if his writing style is similar in his other books, I really enjoy that, and he paints a very good picture of your surroundings and what's happening in the story itself, and put you basically as like your own character almost. At least for my way of reading it, I feel like I'm literally in the book with them while reading it. So if that is how he writes his other books, I'm really excited to read that. So I'm hoping that it is. If it isn't, I'm gonna be really sad. Granted, I might like it. Honestly, I might like it more likely. I don't know. I'm being open to possibly not liking it, but I might like it. You never know. You never know with books, especially. You might think it's a good book, and then you read it, and then it's like, what the fuck was this? Anyways, so the next one I got is Serial Killer Support Group by Saratoga Schaefer. I know right now a lot of people are reading Tradwife by her. That is one that I will be getting, hopefully, too, as well. I do want to see how that is. I like the concept from what I've heard other people talk about it. And some people say it's really good. Some people don't like it. It's kind of a mixed bag. But I've seen the Serial Killer Support Group book for a while now, and I've been debating on it, and I ended up saying, okay, I'm gonna grab it. So I ended up grabbing it. And so we'll see. We'll see if I like it or not. I think I will, because it's an interesting concept. But, like I said, you never know. It's an interesting concept for a book. I hope it does it justice. So the next one is The Education of a Coroner by John Bateson. I am very into forensics. That's why I like true crime a lot. because I look at it as psychology and forensics aspect, and that's why I find that very fascinating a lot of the time. And so the second I seen the education of a coroner, I was like, ooh, because I have thought about becoming, not me saying I have, but I have thought about becoming a coroner, or being a mortician in general. I watch, oh crap, I forget what her name is. Her name's Caitlin. She's a mortician. She has a black bob with bangs. She's really funny. I like her videos. I forget what her name is now on YouTube. It's Mortician something. But her name's Caitlin. I really like her videos. I think her videos are very fascinating, especially the fact of how she does them, and then when she does it from a perspective of a coroner or mortician, the fact that she's been doing it for so many years. But anyways, so the fact that I find that pretty fascinating in forensics of true crime just in general, I thought Education of a Coroner would be a good book to read for me, because the fact that I find that fascinating regardless, and more likely reading a book, and I've seen that there's also pictures and stuff in here. So the fact that it's written from looking back on the life of a detective and a death investigator that has worked in California for how many years? 36 years. That all the crazy shit that he has seen probably over the 36 years that he has worked, especially in California, because a lot of crazy shit happens in California, especially for this kind of stuff. So that's why I thought it was very interesting in just reading it. I was like, ooh, I would like that, because I find those things fascinating. So might as well. And then the next one is The Eyes Are the Best Part from Monica Kim. I know a lot of people are liking it. I love the sprayed edges. I got this from Barnes & Noble. I debated on picking it up, but after hearing it being talked about from other booktubers, I was like, you know what, honestly, I would actually like this a lot. More than I think. I would like this a lot more, and then especially the sprayed edges are so cool. I thought, why not grab it? Because I never know when I'm going to grab it again. Even though I like, personally, collecting hard copies, as you can see. But I know not every book comes in a hard copy, and hard copies are more expensive. But the fact that this one, even though it's not a hard copy and it has the sprayed edges, I was like, you know what, why not? Let's grab it. Because also, not just to mention that I have Motka as well. The fact that I already knew what, even before I had heard anything of the synopsis of Mocha, that I knew what Mocha meant because of watching Stephanie, and because I also am learning Korean, so I know Mol Camera, and so at least I knew Mocha, what it necessarily meant. And the fact of hearing the synopsis, I was like, okay, yeah, I know. I'm happy I am aware of that. So I am so excited to read these. I've heard really good things about them. If you've read them, let me know. And yeah, so those are a couple other ones. Those are the next ones. And then we are going to get into the other ones. I'm going to put these right here for just a second. Alright, so the next one is The Courting of Bristol Keats. I found this at Walmart, I think last year. And it's the fact that, I mean, come on now. Come on now. Even though I have no freaking clue what this book is about, I read the synopsis, but also I didn't care what the synopsis was going to be about, honestly. Because I was like, damn, that's a pretty book, and damn, I love that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab it regardless. I got it from Walmart, because this was the only place I've seen this edition at so far, at least, even since I grabbed it. It's by Mary E. Pearson. I heard that this might be a trilogy or a duology. I'm not completely sure. I think there's more books in the series, but I know that The Courting is the first one. I haven't read it yet. Obviously, this is why it's in this video. But I've heard some mixed things about this one. So if you have read it, let me know. If you actually enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know still. But I'm really curious. I'm really curious what you think about this book. But I mainly got it for the sprayed editors, honestly. And like, that's pretty. Come on now. Come on now. Alright. So I got that. And then the next one after that is House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Need I say more? Like Riley Sager's writing. So of course I gotta grab that one. So I mean that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Obviously. Okay, so then the next one, we'll go to this stack over here. The next books we're going to talk about are the Inheritance Games books. So yes, you see that right. I do not have the first one. I have not got it yet. I will read the first one before I get to these. But I did watch Stephanie's coverage of it. And like I said with the other ones, I'm still going to grab it. I'm still going to read it beforehand. If I can't grab it in time, if anything, I'll go through Libby and just grab it that way. And then we'll go through the rest of the books. And then whenever I get an opportunity to actually grab the first book, I'll grab it. I did really enjoy the first book, at least Stephanie's coverage of it. So that's why I was like, ooh, I'm going to definitely grab at least one of these. And then, then when I went to BAM, these were all on clearance. And of course, not the first one was on clearance, but these were at least on clearance. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to grab them. I can't just walk out and not grab them. So that's why, if you're wondering, well, Carson, if you grabbed all three of the other ones, why didn't you grab the first one? That's why. It's because all these were on clearance, and the first one I did not find on clearance. And so I was going to have to buy the first one full price, and I was hoping I didn't have to do that. But anyways, I will eventually get it. And if you've read the Inheritance Games and you like it, let me know. Some people don't like it because it's YA. I don't mind YA, like I said. I do like mysteries. I do like thrillers. And at least from what I get from that one, it's pretty much a big old mystery. Like, she's trying to figure out why she was left all this inheritance by this guy, and then why is she having to be with his grandsons and be involved with them throughout this. But yeah, so if you enjoyed the series, let me know. If you definitely recommend it, let me know. And then the next one is Odessa by Gabriella Shear. I've seen this one a couple times, and then I've seen the cover recently because I think it just came out not too long ago. Okay, so yeah, I'm right. This book just came out not too long ago. It came out in April. So I've seen a couple things about this book. I've seen some people like it. I found the synopsis pretty interesting the way it is, so I'm curious if I will actually like it. I really like the cover. I really like the cover. I really like how it is. It's really cool looking. It was on discount at Barnes & Noble. So the fact that I already wanted to grab it and then it was on discount, I was like, you know what, why not? Let's grab it. So I got that. I got Afterbirth by Emma Cleary. I am obsessed with this cover, honestly. I really like the floral and I really like the pink and the black mixture. That's kind of what drew me to even look at the book, was the floral and the cover. And then reading the synopsis, I was like, ooh, okay. All right, let's see. So that's kind of why I grabbed this one. I got it at Barnes & Noble. If you've read it, let me know. If not, let me know. Maybe you want to read it too. Okay, so next one I got is The Block Party by Jamie Day. I grabbed this, if I can grab it. I grabbed this back last year. I grabbed it from BAM, from the clearance section, because just from the synopsis I was like, ooh, this would be interesting. It was right after I finished reading Middle of the Night, and I was trying to grab more books, and this was in the clearance. This was when I was grabbing what other ones? Oh, the Inheritance Games ones. It was the same day that I grabbed those, so I grabbed this one as well. If you've read this, if you like Jamie Day, I haven't read anything by Jamie Day just yet, but because it was similar to Middle of the Night, I was like, ooh, well, I liked Middle of the Night, so maybe let's see if Jamie Day does a good addition to it. Because especially Lisa Gardner wrote a little thingy on this, and a bunch of other really good people, really good writers on the back of this. So hopefully I enjoy it. Yeah, so that's kind of why I bought it, was because I liked the cover. It was on clearance, and then the fact that I just finished Middle of the Night, and it sounds pretty similar to Middle of the Night, and I really enjoyed it. Anyways, the next one is The Disappearing from Laurie Rowe. I like the synopsis. I like the cover. The cover really drew me in. And then reading the synopsis as well. Might be a good book. You never know. It was on clearance as well. This whole stack, so this one too, and this one, the next one, were also done on the same day as well, because they were all in clearance. So the next one is Friends Like These from Kimberly McCreight. I think I pronounced that right, because it's like freight, but with a C. The synopsis was interesting, I will say. I think some people didn't like this book from what I've seen. But you never know. I might enjoy it. So if you haven't read this, or if you don't know anything about this book, go look it up. You might like it. You might like it just as much as I thought it was interesting, at least from the synopsis. And so the last one in this stack was You Must Remember This by Kat Rosenfield. I thought this title was really cool in the way that it looks like it's going to be somewhere in like frozen tundra-y lake, possible. Somebody falling through a lake. I don't know. I mean, if you read the synopsis, you understand what I mean. But just by looking at the title, and then looking at the cover, I was like, yeah, I would like that, because it sounds interesting. But so that was another one that I grabbed from the clearance section at BAM, and so we will grab the next stack and put these down on the ground. Alright, so the next stack of books, we're going to have Lily as a patron during this. I'm going to start from the back. So the next one is Daphne from Josh Mullerman. My mother-in-law saw this at a thrift store, and she thought, because since based off the books that I do like reading, that more likely I would like this. So that's why she ended up grabbing it for me. The synopsis is interesting. I might like it. I'm not completely sure. Then the next one, Hyper CJ, The Night and Its Moon, which I've heard a lot of people like this book. She had ended up grabbing this for me as well from the thrift store. I was debating on wanting to grab this even before she ended up getting it for me, so that is a contender. I know there's another one of these books out there that's in the series, so if I enjoyed this one, I might enjoy the next one. Then the next one is The Earth is Online. I know this is not the first volume, so I'm gonna have to go grab the first volume before this is the second one. She kind of just grabbed it because she thought more likely I would like it. If I do end up getting around to reading this, I will grab the first volume before I end up reading this one. Like I said, she just kind of grabbed whatever she could and whatever she thought I might like. Then the next one is The 5 Wishes of Mr. Murray McBride by Joe Sipple. Don't know if I like this, honestly. I'll try it. I'll give it a try. You never know. But, yeah. So, you never know. You never know, I might like it. And then, sounds so negative. I'm not trying to sound negative. I just don't know. I generally don't know, because especially the way she kind of just got me whatever. She will grab a book, just grab a book, because she thought, oh, well, Carson reads. We'll see if she likes it. But you never know. I might end up enjoying a lot of these. So the next one is from Ellie Gray. It's Her Last Call. I know this is the second book in the series. Like, The Earth is Online. I know this is the second book because I went on Goodreads and mass cataloged all these to make sure. I know this is the second one. I will end up getting the first one before I end up reading this one, so at least I know what the hell is going on in the series before I get involved. Then the next one is The Covenant of Water, and yes, it was the Oprah Book Club of 2023 by Abraham Verghese. The synopsis is very interesting. I probably will actually like this, honestly, but we will see. We will be the testing of that. And apparently this is the UK version. I just seen that, because it has pounds and it says the UK Press, the Grove Press UK. and poundage. But yeah, so I might end up enjoying that one. I'm not completely sure. Then we have Waste Wars by Alexander Clapp, but with 2 P's. Clapp with 2 P's. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna be completely honest. Don't know if I like this. Don't know if I will. We'll give it a shot though. We'll see. Might be a DNF, but you never know. I never knew what this book was until she grabbed it. And then, yes, this is Dungeon Crawler Carl, but this is the second book. I have not read the first one. So, that is going to be on the list to go grab, is the first one. I already have it set on my Libby. So I haven't got around to it just yet. At least when I get done with Dungeon Crawler, I can't ever say it. Dungeon Crawler Carl, the first one, then I will get into Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I'll get into that. Hopefully I like it. A lot of people I've heard like it. I think you have to... I think what I've heard about the Dungeon Crawler books is that you have to kind of be into gaming, which I am, so that's why I think it's going to help me when I get into reading these books. Hopefully I like these books. I know a lot of people like them, and then the guy who does the voice narration for them has gotten a lot of praise, and I think even got a couple awards recently. But yeah, so we will grab Dungeon Crawler. We're gonna grab Carl's first one, and then we're gonna grab the first Carl. We're gonna get into Doomsday Scenario. I can't speak. What is going on? Okay. So then the last one. Yes. The last one from the ones that my mother-in-law grabbed for me is Broken Flames by M.K. Ahern. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. My husband told her I like smut. My husband told her when she's grabbing books that I like smut. And because I've talked about Fourth Wing, I've talked about ACOTAR, I've talked about a couple other ones with him. And so he's like, oh, you like those smut books. So then, of course, he told my mother-in-law that. And so she had seen this one when she was grabbing all the other ones. And she's like, oh, I seen that this was smut. She probably would like it. I mean, granted, I might like it. You know what? Fuck it. Why not? But also, on the back, it says, if I'm the burning sun ruled by flames, then you are my moon, ruling over the tides and completing the missing half of me, which I thought that was cute. We shall see. There is a different cover out there. I've seen, at least on Goodreads, it does show a different cover than this one. You never know. Apparently MK has a lot of other books, so if not Broken Flames, you might be interested in other ones. So maybe go check them out, see if you find any other books from them that you might like. But at least these are all the ones that my mother-in-law grabbed for me through thrift store and her job when she was working with her friend that owns a lot of like palettes and stuff that come with a lot of different things. Like clothes, books, and stuff like that, and makeup and stuff. So that's why when she was working with them, she had ended up grabbing a bunch of these. Anyways, so the next one I ended up grabbing was Don't Let the Forest End by C.J. Drews. I really like this cover, and this edition has the sprayed edges. Oh, I just realized the back of the book. That is so cool. Okay. It says, Thomas has no idea that Andrew would do anything for him. Protect him, lie for him, kill him. I've heard that I think the main characters are gay in it. I have nothing against that. So I'm curious about this book. I like just the name and the cover itself that grabbed my attention. I know there's one by C.G. Drews right now that's something Thorn, and it's similar to this as well. I heard some mixed things about this one, but hopefully I like it. I like the cover. If not, I still will keep it regardless because of the fact that I got the cool sprayed edges and just this edition is pretty even if I don't read it. But yeah, so that was one that I grabbed from Barnes & Noble. I grabbed it from the front of Barnes & Noble because that's where they at least had it. Then I came across this one called Julia Tudor is Not a Psychopath by Jennifer Holditch. I liked just the title itself. And then I read the synopsis, and the way that the synopsis is, like, these are, the pink parts are a part of the synopsis itself. I thought that was really cool. But I thought this was really funny looking, at least with the way the title is. And just by the synopsis, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. Why not? So I got this from Barnes & Noble as well. So the next one from Barnes & Noble I grabbed was American Predator from Maureen Callahan. And it is the hunt for the most meticulous serial killer in the 21st century. And it's about Israel Keyes. Like I said with the other one about the Blood Countess Elizabeth Bathory, that's kind of why I grabbed this one, because I have watched many of things about Israel Keyes and the way that he did things, and me being a true crime person and being enthralled in it from a psychological standpoint as well. Like I said, also with the coroner, the education of a coroner, the forensic side, but mainly for Israel and serial killers in general, I find that as psychologically enthralled in it, interested in it. So the next one I got is Shibumi by Tervani. I'm not completely sure how to pronounce their name. Just by reading the synopsis and the fact of how it is, I'm interested in it. The fact that I like mafia-ish type stuff, and I like, you know, gangstery shit too as well. So that's why I was like, ooh, because I like the cover with the katana, and so that's why I was like, ooh, what is that about? And I read the synopsis and I was like, okay, maybe I'd like this, because based off of it, you never know. But at least this does sound pretty interesting just by the synopsis. So that's essentially why I grabbed that. Then, yes, I grabbed Hollow from Selena Spooky Boo. I just seen it. It says TikTok sensation. And then, because it's the Sprayed Edges edition. Because I like Selena's content. There's a lot of dust on this, sorry. I like Selena's content. I love her stuff because I watch her, Chris, and then I watch Caleb as well. But I watch her and Chris a lot. And from their own stuff and then them together, I watch a lot of. But so of course I was like, you know what? We'll grab it. We'll see. I like Selena, why not? Hopefully I do like it. When I went on Goodreads, I will say this. When I went on Goodreads, I seen some people did not like this show. I like vampires. I love Selena. Me and Selena have a lot of similarities. So hopefully I do like it. If not, I really just wanted to grab it to show support in general. If you hear Lincoln whining, it's because Lily's sitting up on the top of a chair and staring down at him. And he doesn't like it when she does that. So the next one I got is Lee Bardugo, Hellbent. I know. I need to get Ninth House. I'm not going to read Hellbent before Ninth House. I did not know that Ninth House and Hellbent were in the same universe. So that's why I didn't end up grabbing Ninth House with Hellbent. But I've always loved the cover of Hellbent. I always thought this was really cool. And now that I've realized that, oh shit, Ninth House and Hellbent are in the same universe, now I need to read Ninth House first. Even though, granted, I was already gonna read Ninth House in general too. I just didn't know that it is the first book in the series. And then I know about Deadbeat. So once I read Ninth House and once I read Hellbent, I'll end up grabbing Deadbeat as well. And then I think there's another one coming out not too long from now. So hopefully I like Ninth House. I've heard a lot of good things about Ninth House, and then I've heard a lot of good things about Hellbent as well. And then Leigh Bardugo, just her writing is really fucking good. From the things I've seen of her writing. So that's why I'm excited about it. So yes, I do know I do need to grab Ninth House before I get into reading it. And then I was at Walmart, and I found this in the little clearance bin from Alex Michaelides. I know a lot of people I know a lot of people don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. I think it is Michaelides. It's The Maidens. So we'll see if I like this. I liked The Silent Patient to an extent. There were some parts I did not like about The Silent Patient, at least Stephanie's coverage of it. That is another one from Alex that I do need to grab on its own, like the other ones I have that she's covered. But I did like it. I did like Silent Patient, at least from her coverage, to a point. There were some points I was like, if I'm reading the book edition, maybe I won't like it. But the fact that I was like, you know what, might as well. I seen this at Walmart, and maybe this is better. So, you never know. But I really love the cover. I love the foiling and everything like that. So I thought this was a really cool looking book just in general, even if I don't end up enjoying it as much as I thought. I at least thought this was a really cool dust jacket, because I just looked at the actual like cover and there's nothing on it. But cool dust jacket. If I don't like it, it's whatever. Hopefully I do like it. I know he's kind of an iffy person for some people, that they're like, I don't know if I like his books. I don't really like his books. I like his books. It's kind of like ebb and flow. So we'll see. We shall see. Then I got this one also from Walmart as well, in the bargain little bin thing. It is A Song to Drown Rivers from Anne Lang. I had seen this at BAM or Books, Barnes & Noble. I can't remember which one. I seen this at one of the places before I ended up going to Walmart that same day, and it was also in clearance wherever the other place was. And then at Walmart it was also in the little bargain bin, and I was like, do people not like this book? Why are they both in bargains, the bargain section? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. Why not? It's a pretty book. Also, I love the sprayed edges too, the flowers and stuff. So since it was in the bargains, I was like, why not? Let's see. And the synopsis was interesting. I find that interesting that Good Morning America also liked this book. But you never know. I think I'm gonna give it a shot, because why not? It's a really pretty book, even if I don't like it as much as maybe I thought I might. But yeah, to each his own, and we shall see. We will see. Then the next one is Lucy Foley, The Midnight Feast. I enjoy Lucy Foley from the tad bits that I've seen of her writing. And then this was also in the bargain section at BAM. And I have been eyeballing this book since it came out. I just haven't bought it yet. And then when I went to BAM that day, they ended up having it in the clearance section. So I said, okay, now's the time to grab it. So might as well. And yeah, because I like Lucy Foley's writing, at least for the parts that I have seen, because she's like Riley Sager, where I like their writing style, or at least the way that I comprehend their writing style and the way that they transport me a little bit. So we shall see if The Midnight Feast is a good book. I hope it is. And I want to get more of Lucy Foley books as well. But the next one is Nobody's Quest by Alicia Day. I got this at Walmart. Wowie World, because sprayed edges, and this is a cool, I think this is a cool cover, honestly. And then it also has the cool editions. I thought this was cool. Dust jacket, and I love the sprayed edges. And then based off of the synopsis, I thought maybe. But we'll give it a shot. Why not? I like romantasy. My newest romantasy obsession. I do like romantasy, so we'll see. We shall see. Yeah. I got Deathbringer by Sonia Ticlerny. I'm not completely sure how to pronounce her last name. This was also at Walmart because Walmart had the sprayed edges editions of these, and I think I've seen Deathbringer at one other store and I debated on it, but I wasn't completely sure. Now that I'm getting more into romantasies, we shall see if I end up liking this. I think I will. Based off the synopsis and based off of what I've seen some other people say about this book, I think I will enjoy this book, possibly. And then I'm not completely sure, at least in the moment right now while I'm filming this, if there's more books in this series. If there is, I might read them as well. And then the next one is, at least the last one in this selection, besides the rest of my next pile. It is Bloodbound by Elias Hunter, and I've heard things about this one. It's you duel or you die. I've heard things about it. I read the synopsis. I thought this was very interesting. This also has very pretty sprayed edges as well. So I got this from Walmart. Ooh, that's pretty. I didn't even see this until now. I see that now. It's a pen. Elias Hunter is a pen name for Katie Elias Brown and Becky Hunter, two friends who wanted to write about two friends. That's cute. Oh, they're from the UK. They're from Cornwall. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I've seen what other people have. There's some other people that go by pen names, and it's two different people writing the book. Especially lately. But yes, I've seen some things about this one. Some people have liked it, some people haven't. But I mean, that's honestly for every book. But at least based off the synopsis, I think I will enjoy it. We will see. That is a part of the Walmart collection. The Walmart Gathering collection that I have achieved. And then next up we will grab the, I don't know why I was moving that. Next we will grab the last remaining pile, and we'll get into that pile as well and see what kind of books I grab from there. Alright, so for the final selection of books, we're going to kick it off with The Summer Hikaru Died. I know this is a horror anime and a horror manga. I like horror, obviously, and I know this adaptation for anime is on Netflix, and I haven't got to watch it yet. I really want to watch it. Can't get into Netflix because I use my parents' Netflix, and you know, them and the other streaming apps are being stupid and cracking down on it. So I haven't got to get into Netflix to be able to watch it. But it's because of that, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get the actual manga and actually read them. And so that's kind of why I ended up grabbing this. I probably will grab the other ones as well. I at least wanted to grab the first one, because at least where I grabbed this, I think it was at BAM, they didn't have the second edition. They only had like 4, 6, and like further numbers, so I'll have to grab the second one from somewhere else. But at least since I had the first one, I was like, let me grab it. But I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's very creepy, it's very spooky, it's very gory at times from what I've seen. So more likely I'll like it. I do like horror, and I do like Saw and stuff like that. So I like Saw, but I don't like Terrifier. I think Terrifier is too far. because I've watched Hostel. I'm fine with Hostel. I've watched all the Saw movies, and I'm fine with them. I'm kind of desensitized from it. But then when you watch Terrifier, I'm like, honestly, Terrifier is kind of like just gore porn, I think. It's not that good, at least from my understanding and the way I like my stuff. My husband likes Terrifier too, but he doesn't like Saw, and he doesn't like Hostel. So I'm like, that's weird. That's strange. But anyways, so I've heard it's kind of gory, and I'm into stuff like that. I like certain aspects of it. I don't mind it. That's why I like specific horror books. But anyways, so that's why I'm interested in to see how this actual manga is, and whenever I get around to finally actually getting to watch the anime, I hope I really like the anime. And if you have any other suggestions, because I think I mentioned it in my other video, where if you have any other suggestions of like horror specific mangas or any mangas in general you think I might like, let me know down in the comments below. I do like Junji Ito. My husband, he has Tomoe, and I have Uzumaki. Uzumaki is my favorite. Tomoe, I know some things about Tomoe. I haven't read it myself. But Uzumaki is honestly my favorite. Then I know about the Sunken City and stuff, and it's Lovecraftian, shit like that. That's so cool. But anyways, if you have any recommendations for other mangas, let me know. The next one I got is Life Ceremony by Sayaka Murata. Just by reading the synopsis, I thought this was really interesting. They're little folk horror, Japanese stories. It's like a collection of them. So I thought this would be really cute. And I like the cover where there's a little bowl of ramen or hot pot, and there's a heart. There's a heart in it. So yeah, I thought this was going to be very interesting. And I like what's that podcast? Kawabana. I like Tara Devlin Kawabana podcast. She does a lot of little Japanese horror stories, and they're really good. So that's why I was like, ooh, I will like this probably. So that's why I ended up grabbing it. Then the next one is Invisible Woman by Katya Leaf. And I like the clock. I thought the synopsis was pretty interesting. I'm not too sure about it, but I thought the synopsis was an interesting one. I hate that the bargain bin sticker left a mark on it. I don't know about you, but whenever that shit happens, that pisses me off. I tried getting it off. It's literally just because the bargain sticker literally, like, there's no stickiness or anything. It literally just formed and made that dark indentation on the book, and I hate it. But anyways, at least you can't see it when it's on a shelf. So then the next one I got was The Cruel Dawn by Rachel Hazelhall. I got it at, I can't remember where I got this at. Oh, I got it at BAM because I was over in the section where they were, where this one and the last one, the first book, is. I have not read the last one. I will read that before I read The Cruel Dawn, by the way. That's another one I have to read before I get to reading it. But when I was over there, I debated on getting them because I really liked the sprayed edges of both of them, and they were really pretty additions. And the synopsises are interesting. Sorry, there's something sticky on it. The synopsises are interesting. The back of the book says, "Gods don't give forgiveness, only power." So I thought that was interesting. And then the way that the synopsis is, the reason why I didn't end up buying the first one the way I would have was because this one, even though I got this on discount, the regular price was $33, for both of them. So I was going to end up spending basically $66 on 2 books if I would have got both of them at their regular price, and not including taxes. And I was already getting other books. So I was like, you know what? I will grab them at a later date. And then I went to the clearance section, and this one was over there. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm getting the second one before I get the first one. At least for that wise. I'm having to put them here now because Munchkine wants to sit right there. So the next one is Numeria from Melissa Landers. I got this at Inklings. It is a little book, small business shop that we have over here by where I live. And I made my first little trip over there just to see what kind of books they had and how it was, and I ended up finding this. I really liked the cover. I thought this was really pretty. And then just by the synopsis, I was like, okay, that might be interesting. The back of it says, "My name is Talia Milanovic, and I am not the person you thought I was." I took a deep breath. I am not the person I thought I was. And then based off of the synopsis, I found that very interesting. So we are going to give that a shot. Because all the books at Inklings, I think, are secondhand books. Which, nothing wrong with that, of course. But at least, just so you're aware. And then the next one I got is The Business Trip by Jessie Garcia. I liked the cover of this. I thought this was really cool looking. And then reading the synopsis, I was like, I can get down with it. So, also the funny thing is Frida McFadden, Genevieve Rose, Lisa Gardner, Julie Clark, and B.A. Paris, and some other people wrote little praises for the book as well on the back of it. So if they wrote praises on the back, I might like it, because since I like their books. And then the last book that I grabbed from Inklings, it is so funny that I grabbed this, because also literally after I grabbed this, I started seeing a lot of people talk about this. It is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I know that there are 2 other books in this series. I know now. I had already grabbed it because I thought this cover was freaking beautiful. I know now that this is a re-release. A re-edited re-release of the original book. Because honestly, I just bought it for the cover. Just from seeing the cover, I thought it was really pretty. Now, knowing that a lot of people are getting back into rereading this book, because I didn't even know that that was a thing that happened recently. Until now, after I've already grabbed it. And I'm happy I have the newer edition to it, because hopefully I will like it more than possibly what I would have liked from the original. But yeah, so I know that there are 2 other ones. I probably will end up liking this, honestly, based off of what I've seen from other people lately. And I think it's so funny that more people are getting back into reading this again now that it's become a re-release. But hopefully I will enjoy it. I really like the synopsis. I really like the fact that now I know also from other people that it's based in Oxford. So at least I can keep that in my mind when I read this book. But that is another one for the pile. That is the last one I got from Inklings. So then we will start on this last pile. The last pile, it contains A Child Called It. You guys are probably wondering, okay, so you have all these other books. You have horror, you have thrillers, you have romantasy, you have all these other ones. Why do you have A Child Called It in your collection? And I will explain to you. Back when I was in high school, during the summer, because like I told you guys recently, that the reason why for this channel I want to become a better reader, I was in a summer reading school in high school. I think it was like freshman year. I, for the life of me, tried reading this book for the almost whole entire summer, and I have still not yet to finish it. It's not that I don't like it. It's not that it's not interesting. It is just the fact that no matter how many times I tried to sit down with this book and try to get through it, I kept falling asleep. Just because I was there all day, I would get distracted. I lost my attention span to want to read it, even though I was actually invested in this book. But it just took me so long to finally try to get to, like, I think I was halfway through it, possibly. I can't even remember where I was. That's the thing, I'm going to reread from the beginning when I get to doing it. And so that's why I went ahead and put a bookmark in it, because I was like, you know what? We are going to get this damn book read, because Dave Peltzer had a shit childhood, and we are going to support him. We are going to support him and read his goddamn book, because I have been wanting to for damn near almost 2 decades. So, we are going to finish this freaking book, finally. And then, if I get the courage, because I know this is not just the only book he has. I know he has a couple different books as well. About his childhood and about his life in general. So, if I end up finally getting to read this mother-loving book, we possibly might read more of Dave's books, because I want to support him. At least from A Child Called It, because I know, yeah. But anyways, so that is why I have a book called A Child Called It. Because of me trying to read this book for almost 2 decades now, and I really want to read this. I really want to read it, and finally say that I finished this damn book, because I know that it is a good book, and it's not the fact that it's not. It's just my freaking attention span, you know. But anyways, so that's one that is very high up there on my list to get done and read, and that's why I ended up grabbing it finally, because the fact that I've waited years to finally finish reading this damn book. Anyways, so the next one is We'll Prescribe You Another Cat from Shio Ishida. I have not read the first one. I have the first one on my Libby. I'm pointing at my phone because that's what I'm recording on, but my Libby is on my phone. I have the first one on my Libby already. I just got to read it, and then we will read the next one. I thought it was a cute title, and I like cats, obviously. I have a shithead. I have a little shithead right in front of me, but yeah, so I thought they were so cute. And then it says 2 cats are better than 1, which is true. 2 cats are better than 1. She wasn't the first one that we had. The first one we had, his name was Duncan, and he was a Himalayan. And we got her because of him. Because we didn't want him to be by himself, and we wanted him to have a sibling. And she is the causation of that. But then he ended up passing away, and then we were stuck with her. Lovingly, though. We were stuck with her, and then now we have big old stinky boy Lincoln over there. And so, yeah. So that's why I ended up grabbing this, because I was like, this cover is so cute, and I like the title, and we like cats. So, anyways, the next one is The Girl with 1,000 Faces. Now, come on. Can you honestly tell me that, like, just based off of this dust jacket, that you wouldn't grab this book? Like, come on. That is stunning. Stunning. Okay. Honestly, I was checking this. I haven't checked any of these, if you can't tell. I just like the dust jacket, honestly. It doesn't have anything else under on the actual, like, hardcover, or it doesn't have any pages, like back end pages or front end pages either. But just the dust jacket, my hair's getting caught. Just the dust jacket, it is so freaking pretty. And so that's kind of what pulled me into it. I know a lot of people are reading this right now, and I've heard really good things about this, I think. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. And just by the synopsis, it's so freaking interesting. But, like, I just grabbed it. This is one that I literally just grabbed just because of the fact that it's Dust Jacket. And it's by Sunyi Dean. Sunyi Dean. Sunyi Dean. Yeah. Sunyi Dean. I think I said Sunyi right. But that's just so freaking pretty. I got it at BAM. Because I went to Barnes & Noble and they haven't had it at all the amount of times I went to Barnes & Noble. And then I decided I want to go to BAM, and I was looking at their collection, and I immediately saw this, and I was like, ooh, what is that? And I pulled it out. I was like, oh, god damn, that's so pretty. I'm grabbing it, whatever it is. And the synopsis is very interesting. So that's another one that I kind of just grabbed because of the fact that the cover is so freaking pretty. And then we have Mary by Nick Cassidy. I know Jordan likes Nick Cassidy books, and at least based off of what she has said about Nick Cassidy's books, very interested in reading them, especially the fact of what... Oh shit, I just realized it. There's another hand reaching for her. I didn't even realize that until now. Honestly, that's funny. That's funny. I never realized that until just now, that there's another hand reaching for her inside the tub. Okay, but anyways, so Mary, apparently, Mary's very creepy. So, I like creepy shit. I like creepy books. We will enjoy that more likely. And then, hopefully, if I enjoy Mary as much as, like, Jordan has, I probably will like more Nick Cassidy books. So, hopefully, I get to read more of his writing. And then the next one, I don't have the Dust Jacket on it. I have the, if anything, I'll pop a picture up of what the Dust Jacket edition that I have. I took it off because it was flapping a lot. This is Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. Yes, a lot of people are reading Japanese Gothic. I have already kind of started reading it, but I'm still very much at the beginning. And so that's why I took the Dust Jacket off, because I'm very much still at the beginning because I needed to finish Home is Where the Bodies Are before I got involved in this one. But this is very much another book that I'm excited to read. I was very drawn to the cover, and the fact of just the name itself, Japanese Gothic, I thought that was really cool. I'm very into Gothic architecture, Gothic horror, things like that in general. I like dark academia as well. Very interested in dark academia too. And so that's why I ended up grabbing Japanese Gothic, because the fact of I love Japanese culture too, in general too, if you couldn't tell just from... We're gonna have to put that one down. But just from, if you couldn't tell, that the fact that I love Japanese culture in general, I'll put that way so you can actually see the binding. But, yeah, so that's kind of why I ended up grabbing Japanese Gothic, was because I was very interested in the title itself, but then also the fact of... What are you doing? Stop! Just by that, I'm very interested in it. And then I've heard Kylie's other book for Corey Zhang, the Bat Eater one. I have that. I'm debating on if I want to do it through Libby or if I want to just get it through Audible, because I have 2 credits on Audible still. That was going to be the next one that I end up getting on Audible before I end up getting Libby. And then before I ended up accumulating all these books. But, Bat Eater is another one I do really want to read, and I've heard good things about that one. And then Japanese Gothic, I've heard good things about it. I've liked it so far. I am on... I can tell you what page I'm on, at least from where I had to stop to finish. I am on chapter 4. I'm on 46. So we're back with Lee right now, if you want context clues. We've already seen Sin, and we're back with Lee again. But yeah, So if you're interested in that, let me know. There's a lot of books that I'm interested in reading. I just don't physically have the book. So on my Libby, I have like almost 300 books that I have saved on my thing to eventually like get through. Some of them are these books as well. Like I said, the way Jordan Lane does it, that's why I'm interested in doing that. And yes, I got Fourth Wing. Sue me. Okay. We know who it's by. Rebecca. But I got the really cool edition. Now, come on. Come on. I got it from Barnes & Noble. I got the really cool editions. So, and yes. Okay. I'm gonna show you. Even though I'm flopping around. Yes, I got a dragon bookmark to put it in. Because I had to. So I'm gonna put it in all the books. Whatever. I don't care. Okay. We know what Fourth Wing is. I don't need to say anything else about Fourth Wing. But yeah, so your girl, because Barnes & Noble had the fancy editions of all of them, I ended up getting finally Fourth Wing, and then I ended up getting Iron Flame, the cool edition. But I will say, I had Onyx Storm. I had Onyx Storm already. I got it when it got released. So after these were already released and this one just got released, this is the Target edition. Because this was the first time I'd seen any sprayed edges. And I had already listened to Stephanie's rendition of Fourth Wing, and I really enjoyed it. I was going to read it regardless whether she covered it or not, because I like ACOTAR. But also, speaking of ACOTAR, I am only like halfway through the Audible edition of ACOTAR, the first one. I have not got to read Mist and Fury, Wings and Ruin, Starlight and whatever, and then Silver Flames. I haven't read any of those other ones yet. I do want to read them. I have listened to Stephanie's edition of Mist and Fury, but like I said, I do want to read them, and that's why I have the actual first ACOTAR on Audible, because I was in the process of listening to it. So I'm like, I think I'm 40-something% through it. But I know pretty much everything that happens. I pretty much know what happens throughout the first two. And then I know what happens through Fourth Wing itself. I do not know what happens through these two. So that's why I end up grabbing them. I do have the audiobook version saved on my Libby. So those definitely might be editions that I will read while listening to the Audible audiobook, whatever edition. Because they some thickum books, so might not be able to withstand it by myself. But you never know. I might. I'll give it a shot at least. But more likely I'll probably listen to the audiobook while I'm reading it and keep my interest in it. Anyways, so the next one is Stolen Things by R.H. Heron. I think it's Heron. Cause like the bird heron. Like the heron bird. I got this from a blind date with a book thing from the thrift store that we go to a lot. They had a bunch of them, and based off of the little description that they wrote on it, I thought this was really interesting. So I'm interested to see if I end up liking it or not. I hope I do. But, you know, it's whatever. It's fine. I think I will probably end up liking it, just based off of the fact that it is thriller, mystery, right up my alley. Psychological thriller, I think is what was one of the descriptors on there, which I enjoy a good psychological thriller. Anyways, so the next one is The Witch's Secrets from Stacey Murphy. I thought this was really cool. just by the cover itself. But the fact that it has to do with witches and stuff, and at least based off the synopsis, I think it said something about the Civil War, and during that time period is very interesting. I can't say it enough that the synopsises of these fucking books are so interesting and are grabbing my attention. But this one especially because of the fact that it's based off in the Civil War time period and it's with witches. And your girl is a witch, so that's why I also find that very interesting. Also, I just like witchcraft stuff in general too. Not just the fact that I'm a witch myself, but it's the fact that I like witch shit. Even if not. But anyways. So, second to last book I got was Snake Oil. Oh, I got this at BAM. I don't know why. I got this at BAM. It was in the clearance section. And then I got this one also, Snake Oil, in the clearance section as well at BAM. And the same thing. So, this is by Kelsey Ray Denberg. I love the cover, honestly. I thought this was really cool. And I like the name for it, Snake Oil, because if you don't know, I'm a full specialist esthetician. And so me seeing this, I was like, does it have to do with beauty? Beauty? Okay. And then I read the synopsis. I was like, okay, shit. Alright, I might like it. Why not? I will say, the synopsis is kind of iffy a little bit for me just reading it. She's just mad. I will say the synopsis is a little confusing. There's a lot to take in the synopsis just reading it. So hopefully, I don't know what she sees. She probably sees the reflection. Hopefully that doesn't deter me from reading this book. I am very interested in that. The fact that just the title, it being Snake Oil, and then reading the synopsis, it has to do with beauty, the beauty industry and stuff like that. But I just think this is a really freaking pretty dust jacket, and it was in clearance, and I was like, you know what, why not? I like the name, I like the dust jacket, it's in my industry, let's see if I actually like it or not. Then, drumroll Lily. Drumroll. The last book at least in my collection, is Verity Guild by Mia Corland. And it is the fancy edition. This was another one that I ended up getting. I mean, look at that. That's pretty. That is beautiful. I like that. Okay. I've heard a lot of people like Verity Guild. I think there's more books in this series, if I'm not mistaken. But at least this is the first one. And this is just... Come on. Like, how can you not think this is beautiful? This is freaking pretty. Back in the books, I seen she has another edition. Because at least... This wasn't the edition that I was hoping to get, but because I really like the one that she has. But at least this is the US edition. And I'm not mad at it, especially with the sprayed edges. So we shall see if I really like this book, and if there are more in the book series, possibly we'll read them as well. But that is it. I know this is going to be a long video. I apologize. There's a lot of freaking books. I'm going to count them right now. Let's see how many books I actually have. So I have a total of 64 books that I'm going to be trying to read. Just alone, actual physical books. Not to mention my 200 and something saved on Libby, like I was saying earlier. These are just the physical books that I actually have, or 64 books that I still need to read. That's a lot of books. But we will get through it. Yeah, so if you're interested in any of these books, go check them out. Go check out the authors. if you want to hear more about specific books, or you want to hear about every single one of these books and their actual synopsises, we will probably talk about the actual synopsis when I get to being able to read them themselves. But once we get around to that, that's when I probably will read the synopsis before I get into the actual book. But if you're interested in any of these books, if you're interested in to see how I think about any of these books, or if any of these books are actually pretty good or not, or at least my opinion on them, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post, hit the like button to show that you like this video and you can't wait to see more of these kinds of videos from me. And yeah, so we will see you in the next video. Lily, you want to say bye? She says bye. Lincoln says bye too. He's over at the window. But we will see you in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you the next time I see you. Bye!